All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Tammy Santa. I'm your Student Wellbeing and Mental Health Coordinator for Westville City Schools. And I am here to be your facilitator for our last parent prep session of the event. And this one is the 3 o'clock session, an overview of student wellbeing resources. So hopefully you've been able to view some others. If not, we will have these recorded and hopefully posted in the next couple of weeks. A little bit about me before we get started. I've been here in Westville City Schools as a school social worker, or in this current role as a coordinator for student well-being and mental health for just over 15 years now. And maybe more importantly, I am also a parent in our district. We have a second grader at Robert Frost and then a little guy who will be headed to Robert Frost in the near future. So with that, this session's probably going to run a little shorter. It's just a quick overview. We welcome questions as you have them in this session. Or again, my contact information will be on here, and I welcome any phone calls or emails if you have a very specific question about your child. So with that, we are going to get going. All right, so you'll see on here, this is the overview that we're hoping to touch on today, the roles at each level, what those days look like, the resources and supports, and again, trying to answer any questions that you may have as we go today. So please keep those coming in the question and answer chat box. All right, so who are we? I often miss this important piece of information. When I talk about student well-being team, right, I'm usually referring to three main areas, and those are on this slide. That's our school counselors, our school social workers, and our Concord clinicians. So you may hear a lot of those terms used throughout today or even when you see me in other capacities. And I want to clarify what those roles might be before we get started. So first we have our school counselors, and we have 36 of these people running around our district. And they're at elementary, middle, and high school. We used to call them guidance counselors. And so now the term we use is just school counselors. Next is school social workers. And that would be my credentials and my role over the years. And you're going to see oftentimes after their name, LSW, LISW, LISWS. And that is a clinical licensure. So that's a licensed social worker, a licensed independent social worker. And there's 9 of those people in our district. What I want to try and clear up with social workers, or sometimes when you hear that term, it's not seen as a positive job title sometimes. So what that is it's a clinical designation and their specialty is in mental health. So if you were to go outside and get counseling at Concord Counseling or at any counseling agency, you're going to often see a licensed therapist, such as a school social worker or a licensed professional counselor, which is in the next category. So the nice part about Westerville is we have 14 of these people in-house in our buildings, and they're really able to provide a very specific mental health lens. So just keep that in mind as you hear certain titles thrown around in various roles. That brings me to the next one, that's Concord clinicians. And we have 5 of these people in our middle schools for the most part, a little bit of time in our elementary, and then a little bit of time in our high school as well. Again, you'll see various designations here, LPC, LPCC, LSW, LISW. And really what that means, just licensed clinicians. So licensed professional counselor, licensed professional clinical counselor, and again, back to the LSW credentials. So those are the 50 people that I am lucky enough to support in our district. And we just want you to hear, if anything, that we have a lot of great supports in this role and in this department to help you and your family as you navigate our district. Okay. So here are the student wellbeing websites. And we often hear that people aren't aware that these are out there. So we just want to bring these to your attention. You'll see on the left, and I'm going to click through a couple of them so you see a little bit about what you can find on here. But the first one, this left side, is just our student wellbeing website. And if you are able to, I click on this thumbnail, you'll get these slides after the presentation. This will take you to the website on Westville City Schools. Resources over here in this box. You scroll down and you're going to see a list of the school counselors, of the clinicians, and be able to just access anything from this page, including my contact info. If we go back to the other thumbnail, this is our COVID-specific website. So through here, again, there's going to be a lot more links on this right side and resources. And then if you click for support resources and activities here, this is what this is going to bring up. Slide decks, and we try and update these every couple of months. But again, it has a lot of resources, a lot of contact information. You're going to see these virtual offices on here that we've put together since COVID has begun. And then again, lots of other resources on here, strategies, videos, etc. So if you haven't checked those out yet, those are often really helpful pieces. So we just wanted to make you aware of some of the things that we have available online to all of our students and all of our families. Okay, so you saw a little glimpse on that website of the virtual offices. And I think if anything, if you haven't seen your student wellbeing personnel and their virtual office, I would really recommend that you do that often as you can, or have your student check it out. It's been really great to watch the creativity and the interactive nature of a lot of these virtual offices. And so the next few slides are going to be examples that I pulled from some of our student wellbeing team members. But again, everybody on this team has one. And I think overwhelmingly, we've had positive feedback from our students. So this is kind of the Bitmojis. This is what it looks like. We've all created one. And these are just a sampling of some of our student wellbeing team members. But if you click on this bell, this just takes you back to our website, but a very specific part of it. So within that student wellbeing website, there's always this list of our K-12 counselors and clinicians. It's organized by building. So you can see, at Amherst, you come over, you see Andrea Wiseman, click on her name, you're going to take you right to her email, or this is her direct extension and how to get a hold of her. So as you scroll down, you'll see these at middle school and at high school and all the specifics. So again, sometimes I talk to a lot of people on a regular basis who say, I don't know who that is or how to get a hold of them, or I didn't even know we had these people, right? So again, just wanted to bring that to our attention, that we have a lot of really great resources within our own walls. Okay, so here, again, these are going to be examples of specific virtual offices. This is Sheila Ebrecht's office, and she's at the elementary level. So again, you can click around in these offices, and oftentimes her parents, caregivers, and her students do. So if I was to click on this, how are you feeling today, poster in there, it is going to pull up an Uno game, right? So if you have an Uno deck at home, or if she's doing that virtually on a call, you're able to take these instructions and use what it is telling you to play Uno in a different way as it relates to feelings. Next, this is Alicia Porter's office. She is also at the elementary level, and she's at Robert Frost and Longfellow. In here, let's go to these animals. So these are the PATHS animals, and that is our social emotional learning curriculum that we use at the elementary level. Hopefully you've heard, if you're at that level, you've heard about the turtle and some other of these characters. But if I click on them, this will then take us to a PATHS caregiver parent handout. So if this is something that she did as a lesson this week, whether that was virtually, live in the classroom, recorded, all sorts of modes that we're doing these, this would be the follow-up for the parents to check out, just so you have a little bit of an idea. Twiggle is the turtle's name, of how they worked on certain things in that lesson. Okay. Next up, and Mrs. Porter has lots and lots of pages that are really great to check out. So this is her SEL library, and it's just awesome. My child also attends Robert Frost, so we're in here quite a bit, but you're able to click on these books, right? And you can either read them as they go, or you have read aloud options. And so I think it's just another nice resource. If I was to click on this book, I'm going to press play for a moment.
I Am Enough, written by Grace Byers, pictures by Katura A. Bobo. Like the sun.
So you get the idea there, right? A lot of students might need some help, or it just might be nice to just hear a book as the pages turn. And so those are all embedded within this virtual office. Next, we have Jessie Martin. She is at Heritage Middle School. Again, we weren't sure exactly how these offices were going to go for our middle school and high school students, and they've actually been, pleasantly surprising for us and well received. And so what Mrs. Martin does with her office is she likes to make it very interactive. And so if you click around her office, oftentimes more videos will pop up of her giving some challenges to students. And so let me give you an example of what this looks like. If I was to click on this little ball on her desk, it is going to bring up a video, right, of Jessie. So I'm going to press play so you get a little example of what it sounds like.
If you know me, you know that I love fidgets and love playing games. So let's play a game together virtually. We'll play Would You Rather. I'm going to ask you a question of Would You Rather, and you have to email me. My email's on my virtual office page.
All right. So, right, then she asks the students click on, and then they send her an email. Hey, I would rather do this. Sends back and forth, and she just kind of goes back and forth and then creates another game. And there's lots of these options within her office. But again, really well received and just another different way to connect with our adults in the building. And here's Miss Noel, Spreester Spa's office. She is at Westwell South High School. And so you see her actual dog in this office and lots of areas to click. So I could click on this play button here, and this is going to give an intro to all of South's student wellbeing staff that they have there. So those school counselors and mental health specialists would give an intro on that one. If you're looking to then link to any of those people, those are here on her bookshelf. And then if you want an appointment, let's chat, schedule a virtual meeting. You're able to click on her calendar right there. It takes you right to what is open, and you schedule a virtual meeting with her. So again, lots of really great things. I would really encourage you to check one out. And again, all of our student wellbeing staff members, K-12, have one of these office spaces. All right, so next we're going to jump into what the staffing looks like by each level. So we're going to divide that from elementary, middle, and high school, and talk a little bit about the school counselor roles, the mental health specialist roles, or the clinician's roles by level. The bottom line here is if you're confused at all or you're not sure what resources are at your child's building, please just give me a call or your school counselor or your principal and see what services they can offer for you and for your family. All right. So first up is elementary. This is the elementary school counselor page. I am able to share this journey with Juliet Peoples and support these 12 staff members. So you'll see their breakdown. These are the school counselors broken down by level, so you can see how many days they're at each building. That's determined by a number of things. But their focus is on large classroom delivery, even in today's current context. So many of them use the PATHS curriculum, which is promoting alternative thinking strategies. We gave an example of that earlier at that virtual office of Mrs. Porter's, but this is a great curriculum. They're going to learn about Twiggle the Turtle, amongst other things, and just teaching social emotional learning skills that are critical for all of our students. Next, they also deliver small group instruction with social emotional learning, just depending on what that building's need might be. And then again, the individual needs of each student as those come up. So if you have any questions, concerns about anything, they would be your first point of contact at your elementary building. Next up would be our mental health specialists. And these are a couple different things to take away here. We have the specialty services that are from Sheila Ebrecht and Kristen Hammonds, offered at McVeigh, Huber, and Whittier. And these are specific to special education students. So they work in those specialized learning classrooms and deliver those IEP mental health minutes for students identified. Additionally, for all students at all elementary buildings, we have Concord's Community Prevention Program. So this is available for all of our students. If a counselor or administrator, which would be your principal or teacher, feel that there is a need for some ongoing assessment or counseling or something else, we have Concord here in Westerville, who then will see that family and that student at no cost for an initial assessment. And then from there, they work with you, your insurance, and your needs to identify what the next steps might be for your family and for your student. Next is middle school. So this is our middle school counselors, as well as some of our clinicians in this group. And you will see that we've got full-time school counselors at Blendon, Genoa, Heritage, and Walnut. Most have 3. Blendon has 2, and those are the names associated with those counselors. They get to follow their students through. So if you start in 6th grade with a counselor, you get them 6th, 7th, and 8th, which is really nice. They get to know their students really well. And their focus is on so many different things, right? So in addition to scheduling and making sure that that is in the right place, they're also doing a lot of career advising and strengths inventories, and also meeting the social emotional needs. They're trying to get into classrooms, they're trying to see students individually and in small groups, and meet a lot of needs at that middle school level. Now, here's where we've grown as a district in Westerville. The mental health specialists now come from Concord for the most part. And so every middle school has a full-time clinician in their building every single day. And so you'll see that breakdown underneath there at Genoa, Heritage, Walnut, and Blendon. And the difference here is, so these are staffed by Concord. There's one additional difference at Heritage for their specialized learning community, which is again special education through Jesse. But other than that, they have Concord staff available to them. And how this works is anyone can see Concord. You see them in the building, you get permission from the parent or guardian, and then they provide these no-cost assessment sessions and intervention sessions, education sessions, until they determine that that student has what they need or they need a little bit more, and then they help with that linkage outside of school. So again, every student, has access to those and are able to use the Concord folks at the middle schools anytime. All right, moving on to high school school counselors. So, and again, at middle school as well, so at the secondary level, Ann Baldwin is my co-pilot, and we have a lot of fun coordinating the middle school and high school counseling team. So here's the breakdown of those school counselors. Central has 5, North and South have 4, and they are divided by alphabet. So again, your student will start with a counselor in 9th grade and have that counselor for all 4 years, which I think is really important. Their focus again is on the same thing. They're really getting these schedules matched up for your student. They are implementing our school counselor curriculum. They're really heavily focused on career and college advising, what's next after high school, and then also meeting the needs on large classroom efforts, grade level efforts, 9th grade, 10th grade, and so on, and then seeing students individually as those needs arise as well. Next, we have our high school social workers. So this is our mental health team, and you will see that breakdown on this slide. We have Central at 1.5, North at 2, and South at 1.5. North has an increase there. They have a specialized learning community in that building that provides a little bit more support for special education students, but everyone carries a little bit of a special education caseload. And you will see an additional support now at our high schools that's new this year. That is Bennett Merton from Concord. And he is able to provide substance prevention and education in certain scenarios. So we are really excited to have him on board and have that additional support at our high school levels. But in general, our mental health specialists, they're seeing a lot of students individually, doing a lot of school-based counseling and linkage, crisis assessments, consultations, running small groups, and then also trying to get into the classroom as well on an education and awareness model. So lots of roles within here, and we are lucky to have so much social emotional support across our entire district. So I spoke to this a little bit earlier. This is our resource area, right? So I consider all of these awesome humans to be our resource experts. So we can only do so much within school time, within school walls. And now more than ever, right, we have a large amount of our students outside of our walls right now too. So all of our student well-being folks that we've talked about are able to work with each family, work with each student, and try and see what you need and what resources we can link you to. And so let me show you this example on this next page. The $1 million question here is, can I have a copy of this? Which unfortunately we are just unable to give out. We update this on a weekly if not monthly basis, because things change so quickly. So what we do is, like this sample shows you, we have a list of all sorts of really great names of people in the area, where they're located, and then their specialty and age range, and then the insurance hiccup, right? Which gets really difficult to navigate. If anyone has done this before and you're trying to find a counseling agency or something to meet your needs, and then you ask your insurance, they print you off pages and pages and pages. Oftentimes, that is not the most up-to-date list we've ever seen, but we will sort through that with you. Usually we can come down to a handful of names that we know or that we trust, and that we could say, yeah, these are some good places to start. But we also like to try and look at your child's personality, what the family needs, and then match that with people that we know. And so that's what we really pride ourselves on. And I would just ask that if you're looking for some outside support and you need help navigating that, we welcome those calls. Doesn't mean we even really need to see your child or do anything on our end. If you just need help navigating that piece, happy to help. So please keep that in mind as things arise for you and your family. Next, this is our crisis team. So you will see on here that the point of this slide is just so you know, we have 14 people in-house that are trained and ready to react and provide support to situations that are critical. And so what that means is we don't have to go outside of this. We just bring our in-house folks in and are able to meet the needs of that building or that situation and provide the support as specifically as we can. So this is just a nice in-house team that is well trained in this area. All right, and then plans and works in progress. There's a lot of words on this screen, so I apologize for that, but we just have a lot of really great things happening. And what I want you to just know is that there's lots of things working. If there's something that you see as a gap or a need, please reach out and let me know. But lots of good things going on in our district as far as programming goes, as far as professional development and training goes. And it's just really nice to have this large group of student wellbeing staff who are energized and creative and ready to implement lots of different things for our students and for our community. So we hope to just continue to build this, build our staff and our expertise, and really continue to implement really great programming as it relates to student well-being. So as we wrap up here, I just want to give a quick reminder that we know this is really difficult. We know the last many months have not been easy for any of us. And so we are trying as a student wellbeing team to be flexible, to meet needs in person, in a hybrid setting, remotely, whatever it might be. And then, knowing our students are telling us they need a lot of help with getting organized and managing the stressful components here, we want to respond to that and continue to meet those needs. And then again, as people need other things, right? We know this is hard and your family might need different things right now. We just encourage you to reach out to us so that we can provide those supports and those links for you. So please, again, reach out as you need to. A reminder, again, if you haven't visited our website, to do so. You may find what you need on there without, having to contact us. But if you need to contact us, we just really want to encourage you to reach out in whatever capacity and let us try and help you navigate whatever it might be that you need. So here is my contact information on there. That's my email address or my direct office line. As things come up and you have questions or concerns or ideas, I welcome all of those. And I really enjoy connecting with our community, connecting with our parents and caregivers. There's so many times that, we are all learning from each other. So I just encourage you to reach out to my office anytime for those needs. All right, so this kind of brings us to the end of the student wellbeing piece and the overview. A couple things to just go over housekeeping wise. This is our evaluation. You'll get this probably in a follow-up email in the coming weeks, but if you have any feedback about parent prep or anything else in general, we really encourage you to fill that out here. You can go to that website on there, the URL code, or you can scan that QR code, or again, you can just wait for a follow-up email from our office to invite you to do that. Again, special thank you to our friends at Westfield Education Challenge and Westfield Parent Council for just helping make this event something special for us, and we hope to continue providing opportunities like this for our parents and for our community over and over again. Thank you guys for taking time out of your Saturday to be here, or if you're watching this on a recorded version, whenever that is that you are able to fit it in. We welcome as many views as are helpful for you to take away. And again, just ask you continue to take care of yourselves, take care of your students, and as you need us, I can't impress enough to just reach out and give us that opportunity to help in any way. We are here to do so. So at this time, the music's going to come back on, and you'll have an opportunity to either continue to put questions in the Q&A, or again, if this is a recorded version that you're viewing, feel free to send me any questions you may have. and happy to meet those needs. So thanks again for spending time with us. Music will come back on here. If you have anything else, we'll be on for a few minutes to monitor this question and answer chat box. Thanks. Have a great day.